406. Opening parenthesis. Chapter 2. Verses 101 to 123, with verse divisions occasionally varying. Closing parenthesis. 407. Owing to seeds of habit energy that grow from the recognition of an outer world, discrimination takes place. And thereby the relativity aspect one is grasped, and that which is grasped is variously imagined. 408. When one depending upon the mind recognizes an external world, error is produced. Error takes place from these two causes, and there is no third cause. 409. Depending on that and from that cause error is produced. The 6, the 12, the 18, are thus said by me to be of the mind. 410. When it is understood that things are because of the combination of self-seeds and an external world, the ego attachment is abandoned. 411. Because of the alaya vijnana the vijnana system is evolved. Because of inner support there is something externally appearing. 412. The unintelligent imagine the samskrita and asamskrita to be permanent, while they are not, as they are like the stars, a hairnet, an echo, or things seen in a dream. 413. As they are like the city of the Gandharvas, a mirage, or Maya. They are not, yet they are perceived as if they were real. So is the relativity aspect of existence. 414. By means of a triple mentality I teach the self, senses, and their behavior. But the citta, manas, and vijnana are devoid of self-nature. 415. The citta, manas, and vijnana, the twofold egolessness, the 5 dharmas, the 3 svabhavas, these belong to the realm of the Buddhas. 416. Habit energy as cause is one, but as far as form goes it is triple. This is the way in which a picture of one color appears variously on the wall. 417. The twofold egolessness, the citta, manas, and vijnana, the 5 dharmas, the 3 svabhava, they do not belong to my essence. 1. 418. When the citta form is put aside, the manas and vijnana removed, and the 5 dharmas, and the 3 svabhavas abandoned, then one attains the essence of Tathagatahood. 419. The pure essence of Tathagatahood is not obtained by body, speech, and thought. The essence of Tathagatahood being pure is devoid of doings. 420. To be pure by means of the psychic faculties. And the self-mastery, to be embellished with the samadhis and the powers, to be provided with varieties of the will-body, these belong to the pure essence of Tathagatahood. 421. To be undefiled in inner realization, to be released from cause and form, to attain the 8th stage and the Buddha stage, this is the essence of Tathagatahood. 422. The far-going, the good wisdom, the law cloud, and the Tathagata stage, they belong to the essence of Buddhahood, while the rest are taken up by the 2 vehicles. 423. Since sentient beings are differentiated as to their mentality and individuality, the Buddhas who have achieved self-mastery over their minds teach the ignorant the 7 stages. 424. At the 7th stage no faults arise as to body, speech, and thought. At the 8th, the final abode of consciousness, it seems to him like having crossed a great river in a dream. 425. At the 5th and the 8th stage the bodhisattvas acquire proficiency in mechanical arts and philosophy and attain kingship in the triple world. 426. Birth and no birth, emptiness and no emptiness, self-nature and no self-nature, these are not discriminated by the knowing one. In mind only no such things obtain. 427. To discriminate, saying, this is true, this is false, is teaching meant for the Sravakas and Pratyeka Buddhas, and not for the sons of the Buddha. 428. There is neither being and non-being, nor the aspect of momentariness, there are neither thought constructions nor substances. Nothing obtains in mind only. 429. According to conventional truth, things are, but not in the highest truth. To be confused in things not having self-nature, this belongs to conventional truth. 430. I establish thought constructions where all things are non-existent. Whatever expressions and experiences that belong to the ignorant are not of the truth as it is. 431. Things born of words seem to belong to an objective realm. But when it is perceived that they are born of words, they become non-existent. 432. As no pictures are separable from the wall, no shadow from the post, so are no vijnana. Waves stirred when the alaya ocean is pure and quiet. 433. 434. It is taught that from the Dharma Buddha comes the Nishayanda, and from the Nishayanda the Nirmita. One, these are the original Buddhas, the rest are transformed bodies. 435 to 436. 437. 438 to 439. 440. Do not discriminate, saying, here is emptiness, or saying again, here is no emptiness. Both being and non-being are merely imagined, for there is no reality corresponding to the imagined. 1 after Tianj. 441. The ignorant imagine that things originate from the accumulation of qualities, or atoms, or substances. But there is not a single atom in existence, and, therefore, there is no external world. 442. Forms seen as external are due to the imagination of people, they are nothing but the mind itself. There is nothing to be seen externally, and, therefore, there is no external world. 443 to 444. 445 to 447. 448. 449. 450. 451. As the elephant who is immersed in deep mud is unable to move about, so the Sravakas, who are deeply intoxicated with the liquor of samadhi, stand still. 452. 453. Space, the hare's horns, and a barren woman's child are unrealities, and yet they are spoken of as if real. So are all things imagined. 454. The world originates from habit energy, there is nothing whatever to be designated as being and non-being, nor is there its negation. Those who see into this are emancipated, as they understand the egolessness of things. 455. Of the three svabhavas one is parikalpita, mutuality is paratantra, and suchness is paranishpanna. This is always taught by me in the sutra. 456. 457 to 458. 459. The citta, discrimination, thought construction, manas, vijnana, the alaya, all that which sets the triple world in motion, are synonyms of mind. 460. Life, warmth, the vijnana, the alaya, the vital principle, manas, manovijnana, these are the names for discrimination. 461. The body is maintained by the citta, the manas always cogitates, the manovijnana together with the vijnanas cuts the world in pieces as objects of citta. 462 to 464. 465 to 469. 470 to 471. 472. Some say that an ego soul really is, which is separate from the skandha appearance, or that the skandhas really exist. but there is after all no ego soul in them. 473. When one's doings, together with the passions primary and secondary, are brought to light, one perceives the world to be the mind itself and is released from all sufferings. 474 to 487. 488. The extinction knowledge attained by the Sravakas, the birth of the Buddhas, and that of the Pratyeka Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, all takes place by getting rid of the passions. 489. No external forms are in existence. What is external is what is seen of the mind itself. As the ignorant fail to understand as regards the mind itself, they imagine the Samskrita as real. 490. The insight that pluralities are of the mind itself is withheld from the bewildered who, not knowing what the nature of the external world is, are under bondage to the idea of causation, and the fourfold proposition. 491. There are no reasons, no statements, no illustrations, no syllogistic members to the intelligent who know that the external world is the reflection of their own mind. 492. Do not discriminate by discrimination. To discriminate is characteristic of the parikalpita. Depending on the imagination, discrimination is evolved. 493. One's habit energy is the origin of all things which are mutually and uninterruptedly knitted together. As dualism is primarily external to people's minds, there is no rising of it. 494. Because of mind and what belongs to it, there is discrimination. The ignorant are comfortably established in the triple world. That an external world of appearances is evolved is due to the discrimination of self-nature. 495. Because of the combination of appearances and seeds there are the 12 ayatanas. Because of the combination of subject and object, one I talk of doings. 496. Like images in a mirror, like a hairnet, to the dim-eyed, the mind to the ignorant is seen enveloped in habit energy. 497. Discrimination goes on in the world imagined by self-discrimination. But there is no external world as it is discriminated by the philosophers. 498. Like the ignorant who not recognizing the rope take it for a snake, people imagine an external world, not knowing that it is of mind itself. 499. Thus the rope in its own nature is neither the one nor the other. But owing to the fault of not recognizing mind itself, people go on with their discrimination over the rope. 500 to 501. 502. While the imagined is being imagined, the imagination itself has no reality. Seeing that discrimination has no reality, how does it really take place? 503. Form has no reality of its own, as is the case with a jar, a garment, etc. In the world, however, which has no real existence, discrimination is carried on. 504. If people discriminate erroneously regarding the Samskrita since the beginningless past, how is the self-nature of beings an error? Pray tell me, O Muni. 505. The nature of all beings is non-existent, and what is seen as external is nothing but the mind. When the mind itself is not perceived, discrimination is evolved. 506. When it is said that there are no such things imagined as the ignorant imagine, it means that there is something which is not recognized by the intellect. 507. If it is said that something exists with the wise, this is not what is discriminated by the ignorant. If the wise and the ignorant walk the same way, that which is real with the wise must be a falsehood. 508. To the wise there is nothing erroneous, therefore their mind is undefiled. The ignorant whose mind is uninterruptedly defiled goes on imagining the imagined. 509. It is like the mother who fetches for her child a fruit from the air, saying, O son, don't cry, pick the fruit, there are so many of them. Single quote. 510. In like manner I make all beings covet varieties of imagined fruit whereby I lead them to the truth that goes beyond the antithesis of being and non-being. 511. The being which is realized by the wise having never been in existence is not united with causation. It is primarily unborn and yet born, while its essence is not obtainable. 1. 512. The unobtainable essence is indeed unborn, and yet it is nowhere separated from causation. Nor are things as they are for this moment anywhere separated from causation. 513. When the visible world is thus approached, it is anywhere neither existent nor non-existent, nor is it not existent and non-existent. Putting itself under causation, reality is not the subject of discrimination to the wise. 514. The philosophers cherishing wrong ideas and the ignorant have theories of oneness and otherness. They understand not that the world, subject to causation, is like Maya and a dream. 515. The supreme Mahayana is beyond the realm of words, its meaning is well elucidated by me, but the ignorant do not comprehend. 516. The doctrines thus advanced by the Sravakas and philosophers are tainted with jealousy. They go astray from reality, because their doctrines are false theorisings. 517. Appearance, self-nature, form, and name, depending on these four conditions all kinds of imagination are carried on. 518. Those who believe in the oneness or the manyness of cause, those who imagine Brahma God or the authority of Isvara, those who take the sun and the moon for an element, they are not my sons. 519. Those who are equipped with a noble insight and are thoroughly conversant with the suchness of reality, know well how to turn over ideas and reach the other shore of the Vijnana. 520. This is the seal of emancipation belonging to those sons who have embraced my teaching. It is released from existence and non-existence, removed from coming and going. 521. If karma disappears by causing a transformation in the world of matter and the Vijnanas, permanence and impermanence no more obtain, and transmigration ceases. 522. When this transformation takes place, the idea of matter is shaken off, space relations are banished, but karma released from the fault of being and non-being abides with the alaya. 523. While matter and Vijnanas pass into annihilation, karma abides with the being of the alaya which is not destroyed, whereby there is the union of matter and Vijnanas. 524. If people's karma which is in combination with them is destroyed, karma succession being thus destroyed,